my goodness. Okay. We're going to do this live this morning. It's 10:30. I'm just getting this tea in me. Guys, I don't know how everything's going to go here, but it's going to be crazy. Let's see here. I would like to invite this woman to join me. Let's see what happens. How's everybody doing? Oh, hey! How are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing with daylight savings? Because it is killing me.
No, it's not been an easy morning. It really hasn't been. So thank you for waking up early. It's about 1:30 here, so it's not that big of a deal.
I just spend the first couple hours like confused, like, wait, what's happening? What?
Yeah, especially because your oven's probably still in the old time, like everything. So
well, I will say I was laughing that we don't, now that we all have digital phones, we don't really have an excuse, because I remember growing up and being like, oh, sorry, I just didn't turn my clocks, and now it's like the clock turns, so you don't get an excuse anymore.
It's kind of rude.
It's rude. How rude are our phones in this technology? Okay, so wait, where are you in the world? Tell us.
I am in Silver Spring, Maryland,
Okay.
and it's sunny and beautiful here. I'm absolutely loving it. I moved here a little under a year ago, and I actually just recently became a finalist in the Miss Maryland USA competition. So
that's right. You're gonna you mean this? We might be talking to the next Miss USA, everybody. Okay.
Potentially.
I mean, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Wait, but you're a law student right now, right?
I am. This is going to be probably the busiest summer of my entire life, because I will be prepping for the bar exam, which is 3 days after the pageant weekend. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's happening.
Something tells me that you like to be busy.
Yeah. I don't know what gave that away.
I have that trait. Yeah. My husband's always like, God, you're so stressed out. You got so much going on. I'm like, that's not stressful to me at all. I like having a lot going on.
I feel like I'd be a lot more stressed if I had nothing going on. So, yeah.
Well, very cool. So, reclaiming my time, this hashtag that put us together, this organization. How did you? What is it about, and what are you hoping to communicate to people today?
Absolutely. So Reclaiming Our Time is in partnership with 3 different organizations, but the main one is Black Girl Environmentalist, and they are spotlighting different Black women and non-binary people throughout the months of February and March to connect them with celebrities and those who are just interested in helping and aiding by providing and offering their platforms to activists and advocates in the environmental space, so that we can talk about our experiences as Black people advocating for environmental protection, and just to kind of get the word out a little bit more on environmental justice and all the things that intersects with.
What is environmental justice? Thank you for being here, by the way, and I love your attention to our beautiful earth. Tell me a little bit, though, about climate justice and what environmental justice and what that means to you in particular.
Of course. So environmental justice to me just means that everyone has equal access to a clean and healthy environment, and has equal protection and equal enforcement of environmental laws. So as it stands, the environmental law space is not very equitable, and it's not, the fault of any one person that's in office right now. It's a systemic issue. And so right now we are trying to address it by recognizing that environmental racism is one of the main contributing factors to why we're advocating for environmental justice. We recognize that racism is prevalent in almost every system that exists in this country and in this world. And so we, in the environmental justice space, are advocating for creating a healthy environment and recognizing that low-income communities and BIPOC communities are most disproportionately impacted by environmental hazards. And that has to do with proximity to waste facilities and all of these different factors that come together to explain why we're here, why we're fighting for equal access to a clean environment and a clean space.
Was there anything in particular in your life that brought you to this, you know, that makes you, that gives you a deeper understanding of it?
Oh, absolutely. So first, I'm originally from Albany, New York. And so I know you're from Pittsfield, and I will get to that very soon.
We can really have it. We can make this whole thing. We're just not going to SPAC in the summer for concerts.
Oh, SPAC. I miss SPAC so much.
I know, I miss SPAC too.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Albany, and I found that there's a good amount of green space in Albany, but there isn't a lot of like true connection to the environment, especially for, you know, children who looked like me. And so I was actually very fortunate that I was connected to different programs. I was able to go to a camp in the Catskills when I was a kid, and I did this program on the Hudson River, and it was called Young Women at the Helm, and it was through the Clearwater program. And so I got to stay on a sloop, a giant sloop on the Hudson for almost a week, and just learn about all of these different things. But I mean, so many people in my community and in my neighborhoods did not have that experience. And there's so many instances of, you know, very high asthma rates in my community, you know, rare cancers due to like high areas of pollution. So all of these things were things that I was aware of. I was always passionate about the environment and environmental protection. I was definitely that kid that was yelling at people to recycle. I helped to create a Earth Day celebration at my elementary school in 3rd grade, and my school actually still celebrates Earth Day now, which is really exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that you left that legacy for them.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, and I try to go back as much as I can. Like whenever I'm in Albany, I try to connect and try to show up for different events and talk about environmental justice and environmental issues, because, you know, the next generation is who's actually going to fix the mess that that we're inheriting. So yeah, we have to teach them young, and I feel like a lot of young people tend to be a lot more receptive to understanding what's going on and why all of these issues are connected. So it wasn't really until maybe high school that I understood that, you know, studying the environment had to do with more than just environmental protection and just like, you know, saving the trees and saving the polar bears. Like all of these things are very important, but it wasn't until I took an advanced placement environmental science course that I recognized that, oh, we need to talk about people, and we need to talk about how people are impacted by the environment. And so that really opened my eyes and inspired me. And you know, not connected, but it was in my sophomore year of high school that I took that class, and the year later I dropped out of high school and I started college. I went to Bard College at Simon's Rock, which is in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, which is that
very close to my hometown.
Yes. And actually, I'm helping one of my old faculty from Simon's Rock create a course that is focused in Pittsfield. So we're developing a curriculum, and it's an environmental justice course, and it's a practicum on housing, green space, and activism. So I'm actually really excited to work on that right now. Yeah. Since I'm from the area and I've been to Pittsfield and all of this stuff, I have never thought to look at it on a map. But last night, my boyfriend he looked it up on the map, and he's like, why is Pittsfield just a square? Why is it just a gray square on Google Maps? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It's a gray square on Google Maps. and that's because of the limited amount of tree cover. And I did a little bit more digging into what was going on there. And so the EPA has a tool called EJ Screen, and it is a mapping tool that connects you with a lot of different information about environmental indicators. It also uses census data to explain different demographics of an area. So you can do a lot of fun things with this tool. So I, poked around on EJ Screen really quickly about Pittsfield, and I thought it was really interesting that, the proximity to, well, just because it's in the Berkshires and because the Berkshires is so green and so lush, it's extra surprising that it's just a square of gray.
Well, if you visit, you'll see that it was a big factory town. And the factory was big. Mm-hmm. It was the whole town. Right. And, we still, we were a Superfund site, and we've had a lot of cleanup of, especially of PCPs there. Yeah. And I know there's been a big effort, but you seem to know more about it than I do at this point.
Well, so that's exactly right. And that's what happens in so many post-industrial towns. The people leave, but those who can't leave stay and are left with very limited jobs, and just a community that needs rebuilding. And so in my undergrad, in addition to studying environmental and sustainability studies, my focus was political ecology. And that is really just the understanding and analysis that if you're studying ecology, it cannot be apolitical. We have to consider people's perspectives and the way that we treat land based on politics and culture and history. So all of that is in play when you're considering how we're going to move forward and protect the environment. So I did my senior thesis on the Flint, Michigan water crisis. So Flint is another post-industrial town where, a lot of the community members are Black. A lot of them are living below the poverty line. And so government, as a result of lots of factors, just kind of overlooked this community when they were crying out for help in the midst of this crisis. And that happened continually. And, it's still happening. And, the issues in Flint are far from over. And when I did my thesis in 2016 on the Flint water crisis, that was the year that President Obama declared the city in a state of emergency. But that was 2 years after the water source had been switched to the Flint River, which caused some of the main issues of corrosion and all of the sludge and the scary pictures of the brown water that we saw during that time. But it's all very connected. And I think that's why I'm so inspired by the environmental justice movement, is that and I think that anyone can really get involved in it. And I think that that's something that's incredibly beautiful about this movement. Even if you're not especially, interested in environmental protection, if you're interested in, transportation rights or food access or criminal justice, all of these are connected to the environmental justice movement. And since it's Women's History Month, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that it's also connected to women's rights. So women are going to be most impacted and are most impacted by climate change. And the United Nations said that 80% of those who are currently displaced by climate change are women globally. And this is because of a multitude of factors, lack of access, lack of the ability to buy property. Women are more likely to be in poverty than men globally. So all of these issues are very connected. And that was one of the main things that I really wanted to relay today, that, even if you're not a, environmental advocate per se, there is a way that you can be connected and understand the ways in which we need to protect this earth in order to protect and understand how to advocate for all different other sectors that we're advocating for.
I love how you've created a system for yourself, even in your own mind, but that we can communicate to other people about how we're all interconnected. And I love that everything you're talking about is connected. When we talk about the earth and the cycles of the earth and our life cycles on the earth, that's all connected. You know, it's really interesting to think about things holistically. I love that you're doing that. I'm so impressed by everything that you're talking about.
Thank you.
It's been wild. I'm going to be turning over my Instagram to you today. You get to do stories all day. What can people expect? What are you thinking you're going to be posting about?
I want to talk about the social determinants of health today. I want to share some resources on environmental justice and environmental education as a whole. So after I graduated from Simon's Rock, I started at Vermont Law School to do a one-year master's program. So I have a master's in environmental law and policy that was predominantly focused on environmental justice and understanding that there is no environmental justice law. So environmental advocates have had to be very creative in the ways that we are advocating for the protection of low income and communities of color who are impacted disproportionately by environmental harm. So yeah, I think that's what people can expect today. It's just a lot of stuff about that.
Okay, I'm just going to talk to some of the people that are commenting down below. Number one, I know my gray hair is showing. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Number two, shout outs to all the international people that are watching today. You know, this conversation is meaningful worldwide, right? So if you're joining us from Brazil, I saw Chile on there. Ireland in there. I just want to say hello to everybody out there. India, look at that. That's amazing. Hi guys from India that are tuning in. You know, this is, you can ask questions. Someone asked if they can ask questions. Do you want to put questions in the chat? You can put questions in the chat. My sister's watching. Hi, Sarah. It was her birthday yesterday. She still lives in Pittsfield, by the way, cares about this a lot, gets her kids involved.
Good.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, everything you're doing just you're such an impressive human being. And it gives me so much hope when younger people care as much as you do and are taking the time and by the way, investing in yourself with your education, with the Miss USA pageant, like to just promote these ideas and what you care about, what you believe in, that you're creating a life for yourself to do this work. Mwah! I mean, blessings on you. I hope it all works out. Hello to Turkey and Bangladesh and, you know, everybody who watches live.
Incredible.
Anyways, okay, I'm gonna I think Ariel's parents are watching.
Oh, hi,
that's
Mom.
So cute. Anyway, we're gonna post this as well, so this will be saved. We'll post this as well. I want to wish you the greatest, most amazing life. I hope that you're in my paths cross again.
I hope so too.
It's been really cool to get to know you a little bit this morning. I'm gonna go. I gotta get my kid to Taekwondo.
All right. That's important. Martial arts are incredible.
Hi, Wisconsin. All very impressive, Olivia in Wisconsin. She's like, I'm not from anywhere cool, but Wisconsin's very exotic to me. Anyway, okay. I think we just say goodbye. I never know how to end these.
I think so. I don't know either. So I think you just end it. We'll say goodbye.
I know, you guys, she is amazing, right? Like, you can follow, tell everyone again all your social media so they can follow you.
Yes, you can follow me on my personal Instagram, which is at Ariel V King, and that's my handle for every platform out here. And there are links to the other organizations that I've helped create over the last few years and the organizations who have made this Reclaiming Our Time campaign an opportunity possible for me today. So don't forget to follow those. And I'm also going to be posting some more information throughout the day for people that you can follow.
I love it. Okay. Have fun today. Thank you so much. Thank you for blessing my channel with your amazing.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me.
Okay. We'll talk soon. Bye.
All right. Bye.